Alright, what's up? This is your market recap for September 4th, 2025. Promise I'll get the month right at some point. Today we had a pretty big expansionary day. Wasn't really too volatile of a day. We kind of just, you know, worked our way upwards pretty steadily. Um, Today I was leaning bullish. Again, SMT here, playing bullish, back up into this hourly, showing little um, desire to stay below it. We go down to that, well, let's go to the 4 hour. We're bullish, right? You can see we're not really going anywhere with purpose. Closed above this high, changed the state of delivery, we're going bullish. Continued up here. Again, like I said, very slow, no purpose the whole night. So going into today, that really, struck me. I didn't like what I was seeing in price given um, just the 4 hour time chart, and then you add on top of that the high impact 8:30 news and 10 o'clock news. Just wasn't a fan. We'll go down to the hour. We can see again playing bullish here, and then we kind of slow down right here. Wasn't a fan of this. I did think we would hit some sell side before playing bullish, and we did that. Um, just because it's too much time just to be in this range. It needs to have both sides taken. And if you want to think about it this way, is boom, we're tripping into people short before we actually go the the intended direction today. So market opened here. You can see we spiked up, took out these highs here, data highs here, and then this high here. This was an SMT of these highs, which is what dragged us down. This is another reason I didn't really want to trade, is because as you saw in the 4 hour, this is a pretty, well, you can even see here, it's a pretty high time frame SMT, right? Which means it's going to have a pretty high time frame impact. If we go to the 4 hour, boom, 4 hour shows it right there. I don't think it shows it on the daily. But if we go there, we look for inefficiencies. We have this 4 hour inverse. If we look at the high of that is at 404.75. The low of this candle is 410. So we didn't even get to this. So it wasn't an inverse because that was already used here. Could be something with this wick. We go down to the hourly time frame. Yeah, right there. Fair value gap. Hourly fair value gap. Nice constant encroachment right there. So that was the draw with this SMT. Still, I didn't feel too settled when I saw that. 50-minute time frame, not much. You can see we're in the range here, so we want it to come down, take out these lows before continuing. That's where the higher time frame bias comes into play, is when you get accumulation here. You can tell what's manipulation versus what's actually the move. And then as you can see, we didn't go fast by any means. We just went long, like the entire day from 10:15, and heck, we're still going up, right? We barely retraced. I wouldn't even call this a retrace. We're just in a range here. So not the price action I really want to be trading. You see, look at all these wicks here. Didn't like that. 10 o'clock news came and took out these lows here. This right here is an SMT, a higher time frame one. So it couldn't have been traded off of because it's too high time frame, but that did start this move up. But at this point, once I see this here, I just wasn't a fan, right? Higher time frame SMT playing bearish. We had a bullish bias for the day, manipulating sell side with the potential of going deep with it because of that higher time frame SMT. Unfavorable conditions, all that together, and then NFP tomorrow, but today also had high impact news. All that together didn't really make me too interested in trading. So from there, like I said, came up, lunch went horizontal for about an hour, and then we continued up higher. We had this 5-minute fair value gap here, nice reaction there. Again, this reach up here was just to grab data highs, and this high, you can tell with that closure that we didn't actually want to continue high from there. Then we came down, took out this low, and this low. If you look how we took out this low, we're not continuing sell side either. That's another thing that scared me off is these closures up here don't fill me with confidence that we're going to continue bullish. And then we come down here and do the same thing. So at that point, it's a coin toss, right? Highs didn't work, lows didn't work, could go anywhere. But obviously, higher time frame bullish set this up. Again, this fair value gap there, respected off of bearish, came up, failed, back bearish here, boom, boom, and then if we look at it, bullish again, so it is an inverse. It's just like a reclaimed inverse. We react off that nicely there. Take our time with it for sure, but we end up going. And then we have this 5 minute for value gap here that starts the move for a PM session, which kind of, like I said, it just goes, right? No macro, no nothing, it just goes. So, these kind of days, are they tradable? Absolutely. And do I want to trade them? No, right? There's a difference once you spend enough time in these charts between, you can most likely predict the markets every day, but it's whether you, one, even want to be in the charts given the conditions, or two, with how precise you are in your entry, whether you want to risk it or not. And that's where I'm at. I don't want to risk. I like to have my stop losses be as small as possible. I enter on the 15-second chart, and so if we have this chopping, like what happened on Tuesday, I got stopped out, and then it went all the way to where I thought it would go. So I just didn't really want to risk it. I didn't feel comfortable. So you can see here, market open, came down, SMT of lows, rallied up to take out data highs, and this high, again, closure nowhere above it whatsoever. So that tells me we're not going to look to play bullish from there. We then come down, take out this low here and this low here. Again, look at those closures here. But here's the thing, I usually trade during the macros. And this macro would have set me up for failure because it dipped one more time. We have this higher time from SMT, but that was present here. So no lower time from SMT, so even if I wanted to, couldn't have entered. And then we play bullish from there, reacting off this 5 minute inverse there for a bit. Taking out this high, my targets today were this high, and they both got hit. That it's become more common nowadays where the high of the day, my profits are appropriately placed. That strictly just comes from experience. So then we, again, sorry, not the macro, algorithm begins once again at 130, play bearish for a little bit, mess around with this 5 minute for value gap, and then we just shoot up, right? Little retraces here and there in the 1 minute, but this is one directional. Didn't really have any retrace whatsoever. Even on the day, we had no retrace. This is just consolidation. So, yeah, did it go where I thought? Yes. Is it tradable? In my opinion, no. Just, some days are like that. Tomorrow, NFP, huge expansion today. If we look in the weekly time frame, take the weekly range into consideration. Looking for a retrace down to this 25 or 20 to 30. So if you slap in the middle of that, you're at 25%, which is right by this high over here. But that's if we are like ending now, right? If like AM session started in 2 minutes, that's what I'd be targeting. But the market can evolve and do many things before then. So this has been your market recap for September 4th, 2025.